Howdy ho. Howdy.
Hi.
Oh, I see.
Oh, welcome back to another episode of the Super Serious Science Show.
Heyo.
Here where we look at all kinds of things. New science news, sometimes weather news, videos, pictures, mostly UFO, UAP related. But that could also be paranormal. And we're going to decide what we think of that or not.
Yeah, today we have UFO videos. We're going to be talking AI, the Cabal, and as always, we're going to be giving our fresh, hot, unsolicited opinions.
Yes.
This is what we do.
It's what we do as
You
internet
didn't ask for it,
personalities,
but we're giving it.
but we're giving it.
Yep.
And I assume that you
Givers
consent
like that.
because you're here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
So, what are our first thoughts? I know there was something everyone wanted to discuss.
I guess we should just jump into Contact of the Desert talk right off the bat. We had a fantastic time. We have a vlog on the way. KARI not done with it. What questions or comments does anyone have about Contact?
It was fun.
I was sweaty.
Yeah. Media.
I was busy.
Chad's
Oh my
here.
God,
Hi,
Chad Smith. Hi, Chad.
Just talking shit about you.
I think that we all had a lot of fun, and it was really cool to see everyone together. That was my favorite part, especially Enzo. Just having us all together was so fun, and our spouses got to meet each other. That was cool.
Aaron. I love Aaron. He's so sweet.
Yeah. I met some cool people that knew who we were. I thought that was fun.
Like who? Who knew who we were?
What is his name, Kari?
Who?
Exactly.
Are you talking about Shane?
Yeah, I think
No.
so.
No.
Okay.
The
Well, there
Roswell
was-
Daily Record guy?
That guy knew us. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so he didn't actually know us because he fucking walked up to me while I was wearing my Golden Probe shirt and goes, "Aren't you KARI?" And I go,
No, wrong one.
You should have said
I
yes.
have a beard. I know all us white people look alike.
You should have said, well, yes, I am, and put on a British accent.
Actually, I am.
No,
KARI.
hold on,
Would
let me
you
get him
like
for
some
you.
tea and biscuits?
Hello.
Hello. I brought you beans and toast.
Exactly.
Beans and toast.
Would you like some fish sticks?
I only eat beans.
They're called fish fingers.
Ew.
Oh, sorry.
Someone else has another show, and he was a really cool guy and super supportive. Kari knows him. I think he came especially to meet you.
No, that
To
was someone
me.
else.
Okay, well, I'm okay. Anyway, I also
Kari had
saw
several people come to only meet Kari in person.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have like business stuff.
I was a little sad that none of you came to, aside from my lovely co-hosts here, came to Contact in the Desert to see just me. Like, oh my God, there's the bearded guy.
There's Tony.
Wow, he's so tall. Look
No,
at
you're the
that.
least. You're the second least important one of all of us.
Yeah, and the most hated.
The last spot's for Bobby.
reserved for Bobby.
Right.
If he ever shows up, which you won't. So
He won't.
forever reserved.
I was like, he'll never watch this. He has no idea.
He's got his own parking spot.
Yeah.
In
I
the
also
back of the parking
saw
lot.
Red Panda Koala in the flesh. Wow. I know there was lots of other people there. I didn't get a chance to talk to them because I was just like running around.
Yeah,
There was
me
there
and
was a
Bree-
lot of other content creators.
Me and Bree were super busy. So I was Bree's like assistant and I wore a little badge that literally said Bree number 2. And I had her phone and I was like answering the phone as I was Bree and like running around and like yelling at people. At one point, I just told someone I was Bree. I was like, if anyone says anything, Bree from Contact of the Desert said so. I walked away.
Oh shit.
You were
I
next
did.
to
I
me when
did
did
write.
that.
I did write down a note here. I was at the Forbidden Archaeology lecture, and there's
Oh,
a
the panel?
and this guy Hugh Newman. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I was thinking about his name, and I was like, how is that not New Human?
Oh, I like that.
Like
Oh
an
wow, like an
alien.
anagram. Oh my
Mhm.
god, wow, new human.
Should I ask
Ooh.
him? Should I
You
ask?
should. Yeah, DM him.
I heard this news and I want to know if you can verify.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. I am sad I missed everything, but I'll get to watch it later. But that was definitely a panel I was looking forward to.
It was
Yeah.
really good. The only bad thing about that panel, and it's not that it was bad, it's just that I think we need to help this person out. Linda Mutant Howell, she this is how she talked into her microphone. So at Area S4 at Area 51, what I'm saying is the only way to get in, and then that's how you. And I'm like, talking to the fucking mic.
That's funny.
Lots of people do that. I think they forget,
Yeah.
I think some people think
Well-
that like microphones can just pick up anything, and they're like, people don't understand. Like some microphones are so very directional that if you're not literally in front of it, you will not hear what's going on.
Yeah, I think you guys need to, for next year, you definitely got to get them the little lapel mics.
Yep.
Just so,
That's a good idea.
because it's cute to have the mic sitting on the table, but everybody's just like, yeah, so what I was talking about was,
And you're like, what's the fucking secret, bro?
and
like, "I'm here
everybody
for
in
the
the audience is like, talking to the mic.
Need subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only lectures I went to were before Bree arose from her cave. I tried to go as many of them as I could, and then Bree
Before
would
Bree
wake
woke up.
and be like, "It's time to slave work," and I was like, "No."
Poor Jamie at one point was like, I need to take a nap.
No,
And I
literally,
was just
I literally
okay.
like threw all her stuff at her and was like, "I'm going to my room for a nap now. Goodbye." And I just left.
Yeah.
I was just like, "No, I'm done."
I'm like,
done.
what is this? What is this nap you speak of? You
To
have
be
to.
fair, that was the day I started working at 6 a.m. because you didn't sleep the night before and you didn't come out until much later in the
Yeah.
day. And so when you finally came out, I was like, "I'm tapping out, buddy. I'm tapping the fuck out. Like, double team this. Your turn. Bye."
Wasn't that the second? I think that was the second day.
I don't know because
I think
Bree
it
was
was
there
Sunday.
for literally 500 days. I think it might have been
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah, Sunday.
It might- yeah.
Like after Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we
was
were there
when
for a
Sunday was
long
the
time.
night I ran up to Nick Pope and was like, "This is Toddy Waba country."
So golden.
Speaking
So
of Nick
golden.
Pope, should we tell the running to the buffet story?
Oh my God, yes.
Proceed.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay, so we did the dinner with all the speakers, and they say you guys can get up. The food is ready. Nick Pope was the first person. He jumped up out of his table, ran around the table, and was the first person in line for the buffet.
He was getting it. I
He's
mean,
getting
it. To be fair, it is in line with the fact that he ate all my nachos and then denied it for years, and then finally
Yes.
gave up. And
Nacho Gate.
yeah,
Nacho Gate.
we did. While at Contact, I had a Twitter exchange with him because we mentioned Nacho Gate, and he was like, he popped his little head in, and he was like, "Oh, this again?" We were
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, Nick, this again. We're back at the scene of the crime." And he was like, "All right, well, I'll be down in the speakers lobby." And he literally said, "If you have food or drinks, hide them
I'm
because
gonna
I'll take
steal
them."
I
He
love
warned
that.
everybody. He warned everybody.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna steal your shit."
Yeah.
When he
I
walked
love
away
this
from the
era.
buffet, he had a massive smile.
He's a
on
really
his face.
sweet
It
man.
was-
Yeah, he's a
But
very
it-
nice guy.
To
It
be
was
fair, I
really
love
funny.
this era of Nick. It's I'm gonna eat all your food. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit. I love it.
It was
Yeah, which
really funny
came, I
because
came.
when I was at the airport in Palm Springs flying into Tucson, Nick Pope was on my plane. So he was at my gate and he sees me and I'm like, "Hey," I wave to him and he comes over and he sits down in Danielle's spot, but she had gone to smoke and go to the bathroom. And I was so hoping she would come back while Nick Pope was still sitting there. So I could be like, "Now it's seat gate. You stole my wife's seat."
Seagate. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Shit
he's just
happens.
always taking stuff from us.
Just left and right.
Right,
You,
Jesus.
you rode on a plane with Nick Pope?
Yeah. So it was funny. He upgraded his seat to first class, right?
Mhm.
And he comes up to, like, he saw me and I waved and he comes over and he goes, "So I just scored an upgrade to first class." And I was like, "Dude, I saw you in line. You just paid for it." But it
It's funny as
was
shit.
fucking hilarious.
I love
Good
that.
for him. First
Yeah.
class. I
Yeah,
like it.
I think that we all had a really good time though. What we loved the most, I think, is that like all of us getting together was like super comfortable and like none of it was like we just all like got together and it was like a big giant family. It was super fun. We had a really good time. That's I think what me and Bree really love about Contact is it's not necessarily about like who's speaking or like the conference itself, but more the fact that like it's just really cool to go hang out with your friends and be weird in the desert.
It was.
It was.
Well, it's nice for all these people in the community and to see them in the flesh, and it's definitely a place where like you would think even speakers would just be talking about whatever with people, but if you listen to the conversation, like everyone is having an on-topic conversation. And I love that because I think it's like you just never know who will meet who. And it'll spark an idea, and who knows like what rabbit hole they can go on. Maybe they end up going on adventure. Maybe they write a book. Maybe they, bring something new. It's like that real community aspect of sharing information and just being able to talk not being out here on the internet for the whole world to see.
Well,
And there's something really personable about it. And I think it's easier to communicate with people like that in person, obviously.
Well, and
than it is online.
specifically that happens at Contact of the Desert because I know what happens at a lot of other conferences is it's like not that same kind of vibe about just having like conversations and hanging out. It's more about putting a lot of these speakers behind a lot more paywalls. Like you have to stand in line and take a photo and stuff. And so what I love about Contact is it doesn't have that con feel to it, like a Comic-Con feel where I'm like paying to get a photo and shake someone's hand. Instead, for completely free, you just walk up to a speaker who's walking around the resort and you just like have a conversation. And like 9 times out of 10, they're more than happy to stop and have a conversation with you unless they're just, on their way to a panel or something or to eat.
But they'll be like, find me later. And then you see them out there talking to some random person for like 3 hours in the middle of the night. And you're like, are you going to bed? That's pretty much what it's like.
Yeah, Contact is only closed from like 4 a.m. until 6 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like
a 2-hour sleep window.
It felt like a festival.
Yeah.
Very
It was
much
just
like
non-stop.
And even when like all the Contact stuff died down at like 11, I think is when everything officially like tapped off. Like you don't understand. People were outside around the fire pits, drinking, hanging out until 3 or 4 in the morning every morning, and then getting up, turning right back around at 6 a.m. for breakfast and to start lectures at 8.
Yeah.
Playing music.
I apparently met William Gazecki.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know, but I have his card. Cheryl Costa. Love Cheryl.
Yeah, we love Cheryl.
She's a real one.
Yep. Gregory Evans. Hilarious.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Came up to me on Monday after we're eating, me and Danielle are eating breakfast. Oh, actually, I can't say what he said to me. Never mind.
Okay. I love that.
Just realized I can't say those words.
It's hard to be
on
that
the internet, but it was hilarious. Dude's funny.
Yeah, I need to like take up some like lightsaber shit or something next year.
Richard Dove and QR
to be a DJ.
Cool. It's Richard and Tracy.
We did. I thought that Adam Apollo was a great DJ. Next year, I'll try to get more people to head over there. Yep. Yeah, I can't believe it's all over, but you know what, guys? We are wrapping this up currently. A small group of us go to Mexico next week, and then we start again for next year.
Yay!
So it just does not stop.
No,
I accidentally took a hotel room key. I found it in my wallet and was like, "Oh no,
why not?
I'll charge you $12."
You know that's a crime. That's a crime. Yeah.
Actually,
I will say that when I tried to
I was handling like 5 keys at one point.
When I tried to leave the hotel on Sunday to drive to the closest Starbucks I could find, I couldn't get out of the fucking gate because when I checked out, they deactivated my key. So my key wouldn't let me the fuck out. And then I went up to like one security guard and he just straight up looked at me and was like, "I can't help you. Sorry." And so then I had to go. I drove around in my car in the little parking lots until I found a valet person. And I like begged him. I was like, "Sir, please just let me go home." I even like showed him my bill. I was like, "I swear I paid for my parking. Please just let me fucking leave."
Let me go.
And so he was like, "Oh, okay, let me go get someone for you." And then he like started to drive. And then he was like, "You know what? Fuck it." And then he just like waved me through it. He was like, "Fuck it, just go, just run." And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Kari and I were there for 2 extra days.
Yeah. Up and down.
Was
That
Richard
was
Butt
cool.
there? Lou's wife? No, she was not there.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah,
if
Jay
anyone
Strang
has any
wasn't there.
recommendations for next year, people you want to see or things to do, let me know. I'm
Mhm.
meeting about that. Jamie had a great idea that I have more than one assistant and I give them a schedule. I think that's a great idea. Put that down.
Yes.
Yeah, because
So
I was
people
real
can
I want to
sleep.
see hot air balloons.
So I can sleep and maybe eat and drink water, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I just ran off of like
Yes.
tequila
Yes.
most of the
Yes.
time.
Yeah,
Bree, this is what
Vegas.
all of us think that you should move it to Vegas.
yeah.
Yeah.
We there was a unanimous kind of.
It was a
feeling.
unanimous vote
Mhm.
with all people I talked to who said Vegas 1,000,000%, and then they would bring more people with them.
The Renaissance is too expensive too, for a lot of people. That's what I've heard.
You know what?
$18 for
Stop being poor.
Stop being poor.
Listen, I'm actually it's very on track with America. If you want knowledge, it costs money.
This is true.
That is, it's just
Like-
I think of that Paris Hilton shirt that she wore on the runway, and it just said "Stop being
Stop being
poor."
poor.
So I always think of that
Because you
Stop
could
being
do an
poor.
excursion out to Area 51 from Vegas as part of
Exactly.
the contacting. That'd
To
be so
what?
cool.
See a gate?
Yeah, we
Because
can all
people
get
are into
shot.
that,
Yeah.
but people are into that, Brie, as much. People will pay hundreds of dollars to go on like a little mini bus
Oh,
to
yeah.
go drive to go take pictures in front of a gate.
People also do that to go to Giant Rock and the
Exactly. Exactly.
So I can't leave that. We
Just-
have
well,
to be
okay,
by there.
Then why can't we just do another one in Vegas?
Can we pick a less shitty desert?
Yeah, I mean, technically it's still the desert.
It's so fucking hot. Can we find a cold desert where it's not
Also-
like
also-
110 degrees?
Also, if you do it in Vegas, then you guys can show up early and we could put like air mattresses in my living room and have a big sleepover.
That would save. on
I'm
hotel
not an air mattress queen.
Well, you would have your special couch bed that I made you. You know that.
Oh no, that's not even going to suffice. We want more.
A king size bed.
Can we call it glamping in the desert and then we just all
I love that
I
glamping in the
love
desert.
that.
Okay, have we wrapped up all of our thoughts? Because we are almost 20 minutes in.
And we haven't watched one single video. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
have one
Well,
more
I mean-
thing that I want to bring up before we continue.
I wanted to.
I'm all shitty. What?
So I wanted to talk about Gallimore quickly because that was a highlight.
Oh,
that-
yes.
that
I
lecture
can't wait
was
to
just-
learn about
it
that.
was- Wow.
Oh yeah, me and Kari sat through the entire Andrew Gallimore lecture and was fascinated. And I also at one point was like saying things to Kari before he was saying them, and then he would say them, and I was like, I understand what's happening. I get it.
He talked in depth about the DMTX study, which is the extended state DMT studies that are going on right now, and how him and Rick Strassman kind of pioneered the technique to be able to do it,
Mhm.
and what it means in terms of going into like hyperspace or however you want to describe it. Like generally you go in, you come back down before you've kind of acclimated and can navigate the space, but they've managed to stretch it to 30 minutes where after like 5 to 10 minutes you're able to like communicate apparently. So
Instead of being
Venus,
ripped out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
back
And then-
here.
Well,
and then the
so they-
magnetoreceptors, that one was
Yeah, it was like so. That's like that's the first kind of studying that he did. But now what he's going to, because there's people already doing experiments about what he originally wrote his paper about. But now what he's trying to do, he's actually trying to take your serotonin molecule in your brain, and by using a magnet cap,
it was dopamine.
moving the negative atom or whatever on serotonin over into a positive, turning it into DMT. So you could turn your natural serotonin into DMT using magnets.
noise.
You just-
Serotonin
you
or
flick a
dopamine?
switch. It's
Serotonin.
It was dopamine.
Was it dopamine? Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
dopamine.
So like you can flick a switch and log in without having to take DMT, which is
Without,
just,
yeah.
like
So,
wow.
and it really is just a placement of where dopamine lies in the brain that
Yeah.
can extend
No, it's
that.
changing. It's
It-
no. It's
using
taking.
magnets to change the
It's literally taking. It's
yeah.
changing the structure of the molecule. So the molecule of what was it? Not What is it?
Oh, it was
Dopamine. It's like these two things, and then it has like a negative and a positive on each side. So what he's doing is that when you go to look at the DMT one, it's the exact same, but that negative is up on the positive side up top. So he's literally taking a magnet, changing the structure of that, whatever it is, and then turning it into DMT inside your brain.
The flick of a switch.
So, boop, magnets.
People are so fucking smart. That's insane.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
I love it.
level. And
Next
I
level
left
bitches
that
is
lecture
good.
just like, I don't like, what is reality? It was good. I had to go get coffee. It was good.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did that
Andrew
lecture on no
Gallimars.
coffee because it was at like 8 a.m.
That's not what we said at all, but go off.
Yeah. Wow. There was also other like famous people there, like
Richard
Nerdrotic
Newman.
was there, and Quarter Black Garrett was there. There's a lot of funny people there that I didn't know were like as into this kind of stuff as they are, and then I was like, I see you on the internet. And it's funny
Love
when
that.
people say, I see you on the internet. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had a
Cool
couple
Poor
friends
life
like that where people
decisions
like,
led
oh,
you to that.
I love the
Before-
golden probes, and I'm like, you
Wait.
watched the golden probes.
Before we get into the first video, I do have to tell you guys a story. So I got these flowers today.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear this story.
Yeah, I haven't told anyone about it. So I got all these beautiful flowers. Okay. And I walk into work, and when you walk into my work, my desk is like right there, even though the internet thinks I'm unemployed. And I see them on my desk, and my first immediate thought is, well, Corey didn't send those, because Corey knows that the only flowers I would accept would be marijuana flowers. I don't want dead, like sex organs of a plant, but whatever. So I go and I walk over to my desk to go read the little note. Say, oh, who is this from? Okay, no card message. I'm immediately like, what creepy fucking person sent me flowers and didn't say anything? And then I see the flowers that are in here. They're like funeral flowers. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys, I've been compromised by the government. They know where I work. They're sending me flowers. This is a threat. Immediately, that's where my brain immediately went. So I go walk into the rest of the office, and I turn the corner and I see flowers on everyone's desk. And I was like, oh, okay, it's not just me. So then I walk over to the person who's in charge of the office there here in Vegas, and I'm like, what confusion? And he's like, oh, I got you all flowers to say how much I love you. And I was like, oh, that's so kind of you. You scared
That's
the
so
shit
nice
out
of
of me.
him.
He goes, what do you mean? And so then I told him the whole story about how I thought, like the government knew where I work and this was a threat. And he was like dying laughing. And he was like, that's the best reaction I've ever gotten to giving someone flowers, that they thought that the government was coming to kill them. I was like, yeah, my brain immediately went there.
Imagine that when he goes home.
Is that tinfoil under that
What
wig?
the heck?
Yes,
How did
there's
she
a shit ton of tinfoil under there.
How do we get from A to B?
I just went real conspiracy first thing in the morning, real hot.
We
Oh, yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh shit.
All right, bring us the
are you guys
videos. That
ready
was my
for
story.
this?
I'll be
Kick it
right
off
back.
with the first video.
Yeah, I'm gonna light my joint.
Now Tony leaves. Okay. Can I start it
Fuck-
anyway?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fuck Tony.
This is mind-blowing. You're about to see a seed that can walk.
And when a seed drops the ground, these orms do something truly extraordinary.
It's so small.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Oh, yeah, there we go.
They walk.
Yeah, right?
The
What?
orms twist as they
It's
fly
not
out
living.
during the day. And then when they get wet, they untwist. Tiny
So if you're
hairs grip onto the
wondering
ground, keeping the
ever-
individual moving forward.
Why you find little pieces of random seed things, they are literally walking to you.
In this way, the seeds work their way along the ground until eventually they find a rock to hide under or a crack to drill into.
Can we not?
This adaptation is useful
that
for the
one.
plant,
Yeah, we
but
go.
not for
What's
us.
happening?
You
It's
guys are a
hard to select
mess.
seeds when they drop off and walk away.
Okay, but that is fascinating.
That
Isn't that
So,
crazy?
I've never seen that before.
I didn't know that the seeds freaking walk.
So
Isn't that crazy that you have a plant that over time has realized that when it falls straight down, it can't burrow itself and grow. It needs to go somewhere else in order to thrive. And that its own DNA has made a way for it to, without conscious, move. That's fucking wild.
How are they saying it's not alive? Come on, man.
It's
It's
just a
not.
mechanism.
It's a mechanism.
Yeah.
It's it
We
drying
also
out
have to-
and getting water back in it, and it causes it to fucking move. That's insane. And then everyone wonders about, like, the trees that be talking and moving when people do things. And I see that, and then I look at the little seed moving, and I'm like, who's to tell me that trees can't move themselves like that?
Wasn't
We do
that
know that trees are
Attenborough?
alive.
Kari, was that Attenborough?
Sounded like Attenborough.
Was that from one of those Planet Earth specials?
What is
Yeah,
living?
probably.
Okay.
What
Living is not
living?
dying. All right, give us the next one.
That
David
was
Attenborough.
exciting to me.
That was
All right.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
try to
actually
bring you guys good stuff. Bellissimo.
No
Beautiful.
copyright, please.
Yeah, it's good
Bellissimo?
stuff. Ooh, oh, it's
Whoa.
pooping. It's pooping. Ooh, this one's spicy. This is a spicy video. Boop. And I made a little butthole ring. Like blue little butthole smoke rings.
This is
Fake.
well, obviously, but it's well done.
It's a
very
well-known
well done.
fake.
That's some
It's well
nice After
done.
Effects there.
And let me tell you why. Okay. Because I think that individual moments of this TikTok video has been seen by possibly something real. Like the weird moving around, the dropping of the children. We see that a lot.
Yeah, the butthole rings.
Yes. And
But
then
I think
the
that that's
mannequin.
what happens with a lot of UFO videos. You see the things that are quote unquote like, norm of UFO videos that they're putting into things to make it more and more believable. They're like, oh yeah, well, we've seen videos that drop the little babies out the butthole, so of course we're going to do a video. It makes it more dramatic.
Dramatic.
Put a little extra sauce on it.
Lots of alien extra sauce. All right, so that was
I
pretty.
have an interesting one.
Okay,
Oh,
give it to
thank you.
us.
I bring.
Okay, we all came prepared.
Yeah, we
Give
did.
it to me, baby.
Okay. Let me.
And all the guys say I'm pretty fly for a
For a
white
white
guy.
guy.
We're pretty fly for a group of white people.
coming towards us, bro. Whoa, whoa! Yo!
Oh!
Oh, shit! See that? Yes, bitch!
What the fuck?
Whoa! I'm not taking a listen.
Iron Man?
Oh,
Shit look like it's coming towards us, bro. Whoa! Yo! What's the other side?
That's fucking crazy.
Can we turn them down?
Sure.
Okay, so like, what?
Oh, shit! See that?
That
It's like
looks
coming
authentic.
towards them. It's like coming towards them and then backs up.
I saw that
See?
thing there.
And then
Yeah.
he's like moving the camera.
Because that's the Iron Man.
This whole thing is confusing to me.
so I think what we're looking at is a anime fight.
What's interesting though
The
is
new Naruto
Here.
Yeah, it's
episode.
Dragon
Naruto.
Ball.
it's reflecting on the inside of the car. That's why I'm like, wait a minute.
So it's illuminating the inside of the car.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
So to put that kind of detail, like if you were doing this in After Effects or something, to put that kind of detail in it, you would have to be very committed to what you're doing.
So are you guys saying that this is authentic?
I don't know. Like,
I don't know,
there's
but I am
there is
weirded out by it.
there's a reflection
There's a
there that I can't
reflection.
explain conventionally.
I would be very scared if that happened to me, and it's like checking them out. It's like, back up.
I think for
Probably
all
abducted after
intensive
this.
I think for all
at
intensive
that.
purposes, we're gonna have to unanimously
Yep.
UFO yes this one.
I feel like I'm
'Cause
middle
I'm
bitching
just
this one.
confused.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for 1 second.
Blasphemy.
One
Fucking
That's the
blasphemy.
wrong show.
Could this be?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could this
I
be a
don't
flashlight
know.
reflecting on the inside of the window?
Maybe.
Yeah, but what's the other thing?
So what they did so they
And that's why that explains the reflection in the inside of the
okay, but if you take out the weirdness of it like coming towards them and all that stuff, the actual UFO and the blinking around it, that is very common.
We don't use Facebook. Facebook is for old people.
Like that does look common to like other videos I've seen, like the orbiting.
And I see those flashing weird shit all the time. Huh.
I know I'm weirded out by this. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
I got no explanation. I don't even care about the Iron Man thing. I could give two shits less about that.
Yeah.
That just looks like a balloon
I think that's
floating.
cool. No, that
I'm not worried, but that right there, coming and attacking, aggressive. And you can tell that whoever is like behind the camera is scared. Like they're literally like cowering away when it's coming at them.
How did they not crash? Why would you not pull over at this point? You're recording
Why would
and
you? So they
driving.
could just come and
and
find
then
you?
Obviously,
He's probably
it
in
can't,
a
no matter
bus or something like that. He's like, oh, I'm just chilling in a Greyhound. Although that's not English. I don't know where this is filmed.
Everyone on the bus gets abducted at once.
I'm like super open to this being what we unanimously kind of suspect it is, but I'm also, is it a flashlight on the window?
It's very possible, and you're just doing it back and like forth like that, and it's making it look like it's calm.
That's a lot of fucking work, man.
But that's it's like a lot. Like if it's a bit, it's a very well committed bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a bit, then I honestly think that the beginning part of the video is authentic. I'm gonna UFO this part. UFO, yes, this part.
I don't think it's if it was a flashlight, even moving it forward like that, you would eventually see the reflection of the person holding the flashlight.
Whereas it's not. The fact that it goes from
smaller,
like this frame too, like
that
I don't know flashlight. Okay, all right.
No, it ramps up. There's a frame there. Where
all right, then.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay,
it's coming closer.
All right,
and that's when they get scared and kind of like move it away.
Okay, I'll give it a yes. And I think this is one of the most stunning films.
Wow. Bring that to Contact of the Desert.
Stunning.
Right? You're welcome.
Stunning. Yeah, I think Mr. Martini was it. I think his lecture was about, because he's a filmmaker, I think his lecture was about like how to basically like what we do here.
Right.
Looking at things and seeing like what can be done in the studio or what is actually
to help with his lecture. He should have asked us to come on stage. We would have brought the fists.
Did I have time for that?
No, not you. The rest of us. I'm not talking about you. You weren't included. You're not any fun.
Shut up, Bree.
That was a great video, Kari. Thank you for that. Hold on to that. We should watch it again.
I agree.
Okay.
All right.
I haven't
next
saved
one.
them on the computer.
Ooh.
It's the kind of shit me and Bree would be laughing if we recorded a UFO.
Sí,
We'd just be dying laughing.
Debe ser un metal grande o un espejo, no sé por
No,
qué.
dale, porque se dio filete en desgracia.
Porque para que rebote de esa forma, claro, ¿cachai? Eso no es una linterna, ya cachamos que no es una linterna. El rebote.
Look at that.
¿Cachai? Yo alumbro para allá.
Could that really be a drone signal? The way that it goes in and out, like there's a point where it's almost non-existent.
Or is it maybe just they're dimming the light on it, so the light's going away, and that's why you're not seeing it?
I don't know. It looks so orby.
It's very orby.
Go back to the very beginning.
Doesn't look droney. It looks orby.
Ooh,
Okay.
Did you just see that green flash?
That's what I wanted to see.
It lasers at them. See?
Ooh.
That's a helicopter.
Yeah, it's a helicopter.
Yeah, it's a helicopter.
Oh,
It's a
shit.
military helicopter.
Yeah, it's military.
Just bobbing
And
around
they
like
just
that.
got scoped for like 1 second.
And they got scoped by someone with a
It's-
big ass rifle. Yeah, 100%. And that's why they're laughing. Like, oh shit! We have a gun pointed at us.
That's a green military laser.
Helicopter.
Lots of lasers are green though.
Yeah, but
It doesn't necessarily mean it's
not
military.
coming from the sky. They aren't.
What's
So
next
the
in
military
cookie jar?
generally uses for all of its drones and everything. They use IR lasers because you can't see them.
Mhm.
We do use IR lasers on weapons. They're called Pack 7s or Pack 8s. They might be up to a Pack 9 now, but they do also have visible lasers for daytime, and the operator can just hit that button and send it real quick and just be like, yep, I see you.
Did you also know that lasers are made of synthetic crystals that they make inside of labs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they realized that you could use like natural ones, which is how they like figured it out in the first place, but they had a problem with like getting them and like getting really clear quality versions of them or the right sizes and stuff. So then they figured out how to synthesize these things inside the lab. So, they have lab grown diamonds, like all that kind of stuff, and they use it for lasers. And it's because these rocks have special properties and stuff inside of them that are like specific to certain like, UV rays or something. And that's what makes it powerful.
They also think that the laser didn't come until Roswell. That's one of the lores and the ufology world.
And the microprocessor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna middle bitch that one because I think a helicopter could do that. I also don't think it necessarily cancels everything else out.
I'm gonna have to helicopter that one.
Yeah, it was a helicopter.
It's a sniper on a helicopter.
Yeah.
It's your mother.
It's your mother.
It is your mother.
I have another one to share.
All right. Look at you pulling your weight.
I know, right?
I'm glad that
goddamn time.
I'm glad that talk finally worked.
Wait for it.
This is a boat, so this is Jeff's boat. Ooh!
Whoa!
Wow.
Wait, is that real time or is that sped up?
Holy shit.
No, that's real time. You can tell by the way the boat's bobbing. That's real time. Go start it over.
Start it over.
You can tell by the way the boat's bobbing. If not, the boat would be sped up like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See how slow it's bobbing? Yeah, that's real time.
It could be a really still marina, and that could be a rocket with a time lapse.
I'm just saying by the way it's like, see how the wave is kind of up on it, and then see how it starts to come back down a little bit? That's the wave of how a boat would be in a harbor.
Although
Wow,
it's
look
very
at that.
like that double prong. Woo!
Oh,
It's fast. Whatever it is very fast.
Start it from the beginning one more time.
It's fast
I will
and
get the
it's
plushie,
furious.
Joe. I can't get up right now. Joe wants to
I don't
see
think
the
that's
Jerry
an
in the flesh.
insect. That really looks like it's.
Well, it's the fact that it leaves a trail.
Oh yeah,
That's
look
what
at that.
like, yeah, a trail that then dissipates.
Which wouldn't be, if that trail was like that, it wouldn't be dissipating if it was like a long exposure. You know what I mean?
Same with if it were a huge bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say this is something in the sky for sure, leaving some sort of a trail.
Kari, start it over from the beginning.
Trail in the glass on the camera holding photons.
He is the photo man, so he does know.
Is Joe happy now?
Ooh.
That ugly piece of shit.
I don't know. I'm sus about this one, and I say it is middle bitch. Need more info fist. Sorry.
Yeah, need more info.
Okay. It's interesting though, right?
It's very interesting.
I need way more info. I want to know what kind of camera it was. I want to know what location.
I've spent
See
a
if
lot
rockets
of
are
time
taking
in
off.
harbors, so it
I love those.
looks real time, and it doesn't look like it's overexposed. But
Right.
I would like to know where it is.
It's the fact that it leaves a
when it
trail that
was.
interested me. Like, it could be like an object local, like a bug or something, but the fact that it leaves a trail.
Well, Aaron was saying that the trail is the glass on the camera holding photons. And so maybe it's just like a shitty camera. Like, okay, you know how like back in the day when you had like the tapes, you know what I mean? And it was like you have distortion within video because it's not the greatest quality. So what if it was just that camera was such low resolution that it couldn't keep up with how fast it was moving? So those photons stayed for longer on it. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, and there's people who, I mean, if you have a boat in a marina like that, you clearly have enough money to have a boat in a marina, but they still cheap out on stupid shit like that they shouldn't cheap out on, which is their security cameras.
Aaron says the glass absorbs energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
when the bright object passes. I love just having like scientists around to tell us
Right?
things. It's great.
I still don't think it's a bug though. I don't know.
I think there's two objects, two thingies. Whether it's two bugs or two meteors or something.
Something funky.
You can tell there's two.
Yeah, there's two.
Whatever it is, that's two entirely separate objects.
Mm-hmm.
Joe 5D, we know all about that.
What do you say? Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
Very true.
You never
There's
know when you see
definitely two objects
faces.
No,
Even the
never.
rain. Even the rain can look creepy.
Mm-hmm.
There's faces in the rain.
Could it be like a firework?
No.
Not
I don't
going
know.
horizontally.
It was like
that.
horizontal
straight.
though?
Yeah.
It's moving way too far, way too fast without exploding for it to.
I'm gonna
I don't know.
say it was a military
It's a very
jet.
interesting. Very
It
interesting.
is a missile.
It's
Someone
the
really
warp
fires a
missile.
missile.
It's a war in Ukraine. Yeah.
Oh, this is just
That
a
makes
boat in
sense.
Ukraine.
There's an interesting separation in the trail there. There's a line that.
That's why I was saying there's two objects.
Yeah. It almost makes me think of the Artemis rocket. You know, the double rocket.
Oh,
Yeah.
without the.
And then that's a stage
But
separation.
again,
there.
why is it going horizontal and not
Well,
vertical?
actually, no. That would be max Q. That's where they ramp up after max.
It
Q.
would look horizontal. If depending on where
Simon
you
is
are
convinced that
seeing
it's
it.
something not far away. He's like bug, reflection, object, inset close to
Yeah.
the cam. And it just makes it look like it's going faster because it's so close.
Space Kitty is funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that is an unidentified object. It's an unidentified anomaly.
Clearly, it's unidentified.
All right, go to
So-
the next one.
So that means UFO.
I like
yes.
it.
Walt.
I like it.
I like it.
UFO.
It's,
Yes.
I need more
like it.
info.
I love
I would
it.
like to know, like,
Yeah, I need to be fisted.
if it was a time lapse or not. That would be key information for me.
You got to be fisted to kill
Literally.
you.
I see
I don't know that you're fully committed until you
possible
fist.
structure.
Okay.
I see possible structure in the upper part of the South Mass Seed. Believe it or not, Houston, they're all there.
How about that?
I see
How about
possible structure in the upper part of the South Mass Seed.
So I think he said they're all Houston. They're all there.
Yeah.
Possible structure in the upper part of the South Mass Seed. Believe it or not, Houston, they're all there.
Believe it or not, Houston, they're all there. What do you think?
Structures. They've got structures at the bottom of.
So
the
many
South
people try to
Central
explain this away, but then it's like, hello, it's on tape.
How do we know that that's legit though?
Yeah.
That could be made to sound old.
Aaron says that CE should be seeable with a telescope. But here's a problem with that, Aaron, that we know that everybody has this technology now where the AI is integrated in it, and what you end up looking at is not actually there, and AI is making it look better. And so it covers up. Oh, that's what they're doing. They're covering up all the structures on the moon, you guys. We just solved it. Okay, so
That's why, remember a long time ago, there was that video of the moon really up close. Someone was looking and recording with the
The
telescope.
waves going up.
And looked like
Oh.
the wave went across, and they're like,
Pro
see, everything's a
777.
hologram. A hologram.
I know who that is.
you guys know what I'm
I think I've
saying?
brought that up on the show before. Like that one still confuses me.
listen, I don't think the moon's really the moon. I think there's some shit going on there that we don't know about. I don't know what it is. I would never claim to know what goes on there because I've never been there. But you know, the astronauts who come back down, they all go a little bit crazy, especially at the end. Like
Yeah.
Armstrong went like real off his rocker,
Neil
like just going around
Armstrong?
punching people.
That was like a
Backwards
strange loop.
is alien.
An alien, yeah.
Mhm.
So I found an
Neil
interesting
A.
video
You with all the names today.
of Senator Barry Goldwater in like 1988 talking about UFOs.
Okay. Some senator.
I think the government does know. I can't back that up, but I think that at Wright-Patterson Field, if you could get into certain places, you'd find out what the Air Force and the government knows about UFOs. Reportedly, a spaceship landed It was all hushed up, quieted, and nobody have never heard about much of it. I called Curtis LeMay and I said, General, I know we have a room at Wright-Patterson where you put all this secret stuff. Could I go in there? I've never heard him get mad, but he got madder than hell at me, cussed me out, said, don't ever ask me that question again. I think the government does know.
Yeah.
But here's my problem with this. This is like what happens in the government now. You have somebody coming out and it's like, I heard from a friend of a friend of a friend. I don't have evidence, but let me tell you these stories. This is why I know it's real. And we have that so much going on today, especially like with the new guy who's coming out. Like he's like, yeah, it's like not even his personal stories and stuff. It's like stories of stories of stories. And it's like, well, Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, I found that interesting because it was a first-hand thing. Like he went to the guy on the base and asked to go in and he got yelled at.
I mean, but that's, to be fair, regardless of what information is inside of there, it is private, secret information, and anybody asking to go in there, I think that would be the reaction. So I think that that's kind of like an unfair, like, you know, point of evidence to be like, see, look, he got so irritated. This is why aliens are real. And that's that's the problem we have in ufology. Some real big connections happening that aren't really there. Like they're trying to really move that string to be like, oh, see, it connects. But it's like, well, actually, that's kind of fucking vague.
I also think it's a double-edged sword because they, to a certain extent, I don't think that you can say. So it could also just be trying their best to get things out without throwing someone under the bus. Or
okay, I think that this would be a really good. There's a video I sent you that I called it like you have to play on show.
I don't know which one it was though.
Oh, it was like the guy talking, and so this is.
I didn't look at them. I just put them in my folder.
The guy talking about Antarctica, and so he works.
Oh,
in
the
Antarctica.
recent whistleblower one?
Yes, and I think it's very interesting. Yes.
Is he doing a speech?
Yes.
Yeah.
But hold on, before you play that, Bree,
I was like, I feel like we have to talk about this.
I found it.
I have been in skiffs before and received briefings for places that I've gone, and anybody can come out of a skiff and just be like, well, I was told this information.
Well, for sure.
That's exactly what I'm trying to point at here.
And the shit that I was told was like, I went in there and I had to go in there by myself because I was away before this mission started. So they're like, yeah, you're the last person who needs to be briefed. Go into the skiff. Intel's going to brief you on the mission. And I was like, all right, let's go. We go in there. They're like, you have to put your cell phone in this.
Wait, are you allowed to tell us this story?
Yes.
Okay.
So I put my cell phone in this Faraday box. And then I go, I'm not suicidal. I go in there and they're like, oh, well, these are the threats, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, yeah, no shit. Did you really have to bring me in here to give me a CNN news update on where the fuck I'm going? And they were like, okay, Sergeant, you can leave. And I was like, thanks, great.
Hi, Night Gazer. So what did that have to do with what we just saw?
Because you can make up anything if you go into a skiff. You can say, well, I went to a skiff and they told me all about this and I saw this and they showed me
it's like
pictures
it's documented that you're there and that you're having some conversation, but at the end of the day, it's something way more mundane than what these people are making it out to be.
Yeah,
and
they literally
come out of it on the other side and say that it's anything because of the circumstances of the situation.
Yeah, at a secret clearance, we go in there and they're just like, oh, by the way,
it's like the weather today is rainy. Like
and
literally,
like,
it's like a secret.
No fucking shit. Like literally everything they told me was on the news. And I was like, why am I wasting my life?
But that's classified information.
Yeah.
I will say I think that the overjoyous reaction from that person wasn't necessarily warranted, but I do think that what he's saying is true. From the fact that I do think that we have crash retrievals.
It makes sense.
Probably, but they're not telling anybody in a skiff.
I think that he is relaying the information that was told to him and that some of that information is accurate. I don't think that there's any denying that at all. I think that that's like something we can all conclusively say together, that he's saying things that ring true in the UFO world. It's very on track for what the UFO narrative that's out there. Exactly.
It's on track for where we are now.
But I'm not going to say
that's
that
why when I saw
think,
it, I was like, that's.
But I don't think this man has witnessed with his own eyeballs walking into a room seeing fucking craft. So that's why that
was him saying that he tried to and he couldn't.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's
but
like
the guy getting mad. It might not be ET related.
And there's also a proven tactic used in the information or the intelligence community is to feed what they call honeypot information to people to see who will leak it. And it's not necessarily true information. They just want to know who the fuck's going to talk.
The rat is. Yeah.
And then it's
a great tactic.
You're out. You're done. Tesla did that with a so-called whistleblower and put spaces in different places in every single email
they
every
sent out.
Single person.
So the email that was published, they could go back and scan it, and then they knew exactly what email they had sent that person to. Like who leaked it?
Who exactly?
Actually, low key, very genius, very smart.
Fucking amazing. Literally. I read that and I was like, oh, that's smart as fuck.
Smart as fuck. Because who's gonna take the time to like go and copy and paste it and like, you know what I mean? Like inspect it or like change it. They're just gonna send the fucking email off and be like, see, I told you.
Just leave it in extra space. That's all it is.
Yeah. Literally. An extra S somewhere. Yeah.
I love that. Well, yeah, I think we're all underwhelmed, but I will say that there really is no person I think that could come out that we would jump for joy. I think
no,
it doesn't matter.
No, doesn't matter.
We'll always be skeptical of that person, unfortunately.
Not when they're all tied to the same person.
Well, yeah, and we're definitely holding our grudges. I think that's also what it is.
So let's watch this Antarctica video.
I will start, since we have to be brief. I have already given all pertinent information and supporting documentation to the Senate Intelligence Committee and AARO. They informed me that all of my information will be recorded for public record and shared with Congress. It is that important. In 2010, I was selected to go down to the South Pole Station in Antarctica for an entire year by Raytheon Polar Services as an employee of a third-party contractor for the National Science Foundation. I function in a dual-role capacity as a tradesman and a firefighter. My responsibilities required me to be more informed than most of my crew and offered me complete access to the facilities. What I learned from this unique experience needs to be shared with the entire world. The technology at the South Pole Station certainly can do what it is presented as its primary purposes, and unfortunately, much more. The Ice Cube neutrino detector is presented as a passive listening device for the purposes of the science as presented. But I'm going to skip right through the chase, folks. I have provided documentation that proves that the 5,160, what they call DOMs, that are embedded in the ice can actually transmit at 2,047 volts each. That gives us a long list of things to consider. It is effectively a multifaceted directed energy weapons platform that I will list rapidly a few things that it can do.
Kari's having a meltdown.
Vehicle detection. We're learning that these off-world craft, on-world craft, ours or other nations, are also emitting neutrinos. So this makes the South Pole Station effectively an air traffic control station for this new level of equipment that nobody's discussing. In addition to the ability to detect neutrinos and the exotic vehicles, I have provided documentation that shows that this is also a system for faster than light communications. In the past, Gary McKinnon has hacked NASA, found the off-world fleet, the list of captains, and it's apparent that if we have faster than light vehicles moving throughout this system, we're going to need faster than light communications. This is that facility. Unfortunately, I have other bad news. The season that I was there, 2010 to 2011, we converted from construction to operations and maintenance in both the elevated station and the detector array. Unfortunately, when they first fired it up, that was when we had the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand. There was 2 incidental shots before they were able to target it correctly. This is an earthquake generating device as well. This is the weapons of war that we have to deal with now and what Raytheon's hiding. There's an ELF system at the South Pole Station that when I arrived, I was told it was off, dismantled, and completely defunct. In my work, I will rapidly just tell you, I had to figure out the circuitry for certain other repairs, and I found that this system is in fact completely energized, up and running, and being utilized with the other systems for nefarious purposes as well. The Atmospheric Research Observatory is in what we call the clean air sector. I witnessed myself a very powerful green laser shooting out of the top of this facility into the cosmos. This, I believe, is a secondary form of long-range communications and or a defense system. I am not saying that we need to be scared of anything that's out there, but please understand the military-industrial complex is happy to invest all of your money in alleviating their fears. A question of power comes into play for all of these facilities that are present. I assure you, I knew what was going on. I knew the load demands of the facility, and all of these new items exceed the demand for the systems that I was presented. I am doing due diligence and research. I believe there is either a secondary power supply there that is either nuclear, that was there prior to the start of the Antarctic Treaty, which prohibits such things, and or that there is some sort of exotic power supply system there that just is not in the verbiage of the treaty, so it negates the responsibility to the parties involved. I think that pretty much covers it for time. If anybody wants to find out more, I have a website where all this information is at. For brevity, I'll wrap it up, but you can go to deciphering.tv. I've documented all of this stuff, and information is available.
Oh, I'm surprised it's not called OnlyFans Suck My Balls.
I mean, .tv, that means probably paid access to that information. There it is.
That was the worst fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, so it was so interesting to listen to this guy talk because it started off and I was like, okay, I'm listening. And then the more he went on, I was like, oh no. Because he started saying these things like, I have these documented proofs that when we turned on the machine, it caused earthquakes. Like, sir, there's no way that from Antarctica you have caused earthquakes by turning on a machine. I'm sorry. Just no. A coincidence? Maybe, absolutely. But the fact that this person thinks that those two events are related is crazy to me.
So, funny thing, when I was in the military and I was writing memos all day. Writing memos.
You were in the military?
No way.
I've never heard you mention that before.
I was like, what if I just wrote a memo about like aliens and UFOs? Because I have all of the access to all of the official things,
documentation.
And I know
yeah,
how to write a military document. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I wrote it up and I never posted it. I was like, that's a dick move. Because I could take the Pentagon seal and their address and everything and just make up a completely fake UFO document, and it would take me like 5 minutes to do it.
Ooh, I love this intel because now I'm sus about all. I'm sus about all government documents now.
I wrote a document, so I wrote a memo when I was in charge of our orderly room. I wrote a memo saying that I could leave work every single day at noon, and I didn't have to do physical training. And my commander signed it because I was like, "Hey, sir, I need you to sign this." Mm-hmm. He was like, "Oh yeah, no problem. Here you go." And then I posted it, and I was like, I tested it out, got in trouble, and I was like, "No, the commander signed this. It's real."
Says I can leave every day at noon.
Yeah.
That just shows you how much people care about what they're signing.
Yeah, it's that easy, and you can look up how to write a memo for any branch of the military or the Pentagon. It's free, open source information, and then you can take Photoshop or you can just print it off and then run it through scanners over and over again, so that
make it look old and shit. Yeah,
and then you're just like, yeah, look at this file that I found from 1945 about UFOs.
Oh, look at
it's so easy to fake this shit.
It's like those Joseph Smith pages that were found. You know?
Yeah.
It's just meticulously fake documents.
Are you talking about the Mormons?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a deep cut. I liked it. That was good. Because it's true. It was like they just they're
this
crazy.
guy like found pages and he was like,
there's this crazy story about how there are these two groups of people, and it's basically the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, and the Native Americans are bad and evil, and the Pilgrims are good, and there was a big war, and then all the Native Americans got killed off, and then all these Mormons who were the Pilgrims ended up in let's just say randomly Wisconsin, and then randomly in a mountain they found buried in this mountain like the book of their Bible. Basically, it was just like in a mountain in Wisconsin. And like the whole thing is like you can't be Native, you have to be a white person. That's literally their whole religion.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crossover with the UFO world with that.
A lot. Because they think that only so many people go to heaven.
That was 144,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No more, no less. And quite honestly, at this point, I believe all 144,000 of them would already be in heaven.
Yeah. Seats full.
Like I feel like heaven would be full.
Someone echoing?
It was Brie, I think. She was like,
no, it wasn't.
No, Danielle walked by. She's got the show playing.
Just like that one thing on TikTok where it's like the car sounded like the music going by.
This ELF thing that the guy was talking about, the extreme low frequency monitoring array, could that just be to monitor the ice shelf? Because you can listen for like cracks and movements.
Yeah, so basically I think like what he's, and I have a very small grasp on what it is he's trying to say because I think it's kind of nonsense, but what I think he's saying is that they're using that cover of using those things to do exactly what you're saying, listen to the ice cracks so that they can, and he's trying to say that, oh no, that's all a cover and it's way more than that. What they've found by listening is that it emits this certain frequency, and this certain frequency has an ability to detect things in our atmosphere that are, you know, of other worlds. And so this area has now become a landing zone. And like he's like building upon these ideas, saying that he has this proof. But I have a feeling that proof is, if people really looked into it, it would probably start to fall apart.
Just another day in ufology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we got next?
What we got next?
I hate it here.
Off the coast of South Eleuthera, headed out for a
Ufology or
typical
Toddy
morning
Waba?
dive.
Or both?
On the ride to the first dive of the morning, I spotted something flying which was making unusual darting like flying patterns. After a couple minutes of watching it, it suddenly darted into the ocean, making a big splash. Me and 3 friends decided to dive where we saw it enter, and I can't even describe what we saw.
I'm gonna pause it.
That's a submarine.
Is it a submarine? Look at it.
Yeah, the video is just like to situate the story, but the story and the video are separate. So the video is just some divers, and then they see a submarine.
Keep playing.
So it's a TikTok trick.
Yeah.
Keep playing.
Oh, a TikTok trick. Here you go.
Because I was just actually going to say, so lately I've been seeing people do these voiceovers, and then they're using AI to create videos, and they're like telling a story. It's not like what you're at. It's not the actual video. They're like recreating it.
I don't ever want to go in a submarine.
No, me either.
Aaron says that that's a popular tourist diving location in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch?
There's also no submarine that's shaped like that.
Yeah, like a top, like a spin top.
Right.
You have to remember it's wider than you think it is, though. It goes backwards, and that's 100% what a submarine is. They're flat on top.
On top, but they don't point at the bottom. They round.
Yeah.
Because
that's probably some kind of like docking station or like.
It's AI. It's not
It's a docking station.
You know, for like divers and boats and stuff.
It's a megalodon.
It's a megalodon.
Nar.
It's a megalodon.
That's my last one to share.
Okay.
What's next?
I have a video.
A video.
Something was just born. There she goes.
So confused.
It's very like what? So it poops out a couple, and then it splits off into 5, and then
phew! So at first I was gonna be like,
Plasma.
a firework exploding and extremely they slowed it down, and you're getting but then for them to almost pause in the air and then pew is very strange.
It is.
Yeah. I'm also a huge fan of asking why all the poor people see UFOs. Like, can you just get a good cell phone? And
so you mean people with
not
iPhones?
poor? They just have Androids.
No, they're not poor. They just put it on TikTok.
I can. Okay, Bree. I can film an 8K.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Aaron says that this is one of those apps.
Yeah. Okay.
And that usually it's on the night sky.
It has been identified.
And they can show us like 10 videos of the same thing. We love that.
It's fake as fuck.
We love this. This is what we like to hear. This is why, as a team, we're solving ufology.
Right.
We fix it. We fix the problem.
Slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
Fixing it from the inside.
We're trying.
And what's the next reason people hate us?
I mean, it's a pyramid just floating in the sky over the city.
Dorito.
You can hear Jeremy Corbell running.
Running. I'm coming.
I've got it on mine.
Do you want
Jeremy
to
Lochner,
Now
Corbell
it's starting to dim.
Stevenson, the third Esquire.
Karate master.
Oh, don't you go away. Where are you going?
Where you going, buddy?
Where are you going?
What doing?
Hell?
You listen here, Linda. You don't leave.
It's hostile.
It's the tiny dot now.
I bet you anything that's a fucking planet.
I was gonna say it's either I think it's a plane leaving away.
I bet you it's a fucking planet, and his phone has an AI upscale.
And it's making it bigger.
I think his phone looks like shitty. I don't think he has
his phone's
an AI
super
upscale.
shitty.
Probably an Apple. You're right.
No.
Screen's
Yeah.
cracked.
To me, this is something that's flying in the air and that's flying farther away, and it's just the camera's distorting it. Yeah, I don't know. If it was doing something, but it's just not doing anything for me on that one. Anyone else? Yeah. It's like just,
was
it's
it
just
near
not
an
doing
airport?
anything for me.
Was it
Yeah.
in an air traffic space? Was
I feel like I could
in the middle of
recreate that
nowhere?
same photo by going to the Las Vegas airport and sitting right by outside of it and get something super similar.
And just shoot with a really high exposure.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And like really zoomed in close, so it's really grainy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the.
Bree's quick with it today.
It's the Ascension. It's the Rapture.
This is
It's the
Rapture. Yeah, the
Rapture.
Rapture. The Rapture.
What the fuck is it though?
It's
Could that
fireworks with the upper half cut off.
It is.
Is it?
Yes.
No.
What?
It would have taken off by that.
It is
taken off by
Chinese.
then.
I bet
Boom,
you
boom.
this is China.
Chinese, those red balloon lantern thingies that they release.
No, I guarantee you this is China shooting up fireworks with the top half of the video cut off.
Cut off.
So you don't see the boom.
I
boom,
see
boom,
what
boom,
you're
boom,
saying.
boom.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I
it's
mean?
just
Because
the
there's
boom,
too much city here.
It's a lot of city.
I thought it might be reflection, but they are coming from behind the building.
They're coming from behind the building for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really just want to think that this is the Rapture and we're just left here in hell.
It would make sense.
That's where we belong.
I was just. It would make. Way
would
too
make
much
everything.
It would make a lot of
It would make
sense.
everything make so
God
It would make a lot of
damn it.
sense.
This is the bad
my
place.
That's when Trump was elected. That's what tipped the scales. We should have known.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lord
That's when they
have
turned on that ELF generator in Antarctica.
in Antarctica when the earthquake. Yeah, exactly.
What in the hell is there's two videos here. One is 5 minutes and 34 seconds. The other one is 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, so this is the Las Vegas UFO stuff.
Oh, okay. Both of them?
Right.
Yeah.
Should
So
we
play the
jump into that
7 minute one first.
company?
Okay.
No, wait, no,
I know, but
not
I
the one where it's
have
the news one
some
first. The news one
too.
first, not the one of the guy
Okay.
talking.
Because you hear the
I
call,
saved,
right?
I saved a short tweet, which is a clear version of the UFO craft that was seen. That said it was a meteorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see that too.
It is the police call everybody will be talking about. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Brian Loftus. A family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now. And tonight, our David Charnes with the video you will only see on 8 News Now. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling the 8 News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
So, okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm still nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey. If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way. And whatever crashed by the time the police got there was gone, but sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what? We do not know.
I mean, it's so interesting. So, like, the Metro officer sees something, the neighbor sees something. I mean, so what could it be?
Well, we know that there are obviously a lot of military bases around this area. George Knapp covers a lot of that stuff for us on the 8 News Now investigators. We're showing you drone video from above that area. And we know, of course, Creech not far away, Nellis Air Force Base not far. I checked in with them. They say they are not involved at all, and we are waiting to hear from the Pentagon as well.
And you talked to these people. It seemed completely legitimate to you. And do you have any personal thoughts on maybe what it was?
Right. So it seems from talking to our sources that something happened. There was obviously some flash in the sky. A lot of people saw it that night on the night of April 30th, early in the morning on May 1st. Did that exact thing land in their yard? I don't know. But these people said they saw some SUV circling the area. Could this have been some piece of equipment that malfunctioned? Maybe they saw something and then someone came. I can't believe we're talking about this.
Right.
Someone came and retrieved it from the backyard in the SUV. We don't know. This all comes as a former high-level intelligence officer, a veteran, was on News Nation talking about how there is a program where the government collects some unidentified objects. So this might be that.
There you go,
we
Simon.
just don't know. We're going to work to find out, though.
And
Brian
no
Green.
substances. They were looking with clear eyes. Goodness.
Very interesting.
Not big buggy eyes, though. Like they said.
This is really unique. Thank you, David.
Okay,
It's
so
about creating context.
okay, so let's just start off by saying that number one, that was the first meteor thing was a complete fucking coincidence that a meteor happened to go by. And of course, people don't know what meteors look like. More specifically, the green color of it is because of iron being broken up, I believe.
Nope.
In the
I got
atmosphere.
you. I got you.
What is it? What is it?
Hold
So,
on.
like,
Let me share this. Share this screen. We want this. Boom.
Science.
Copper. That's what it is. Copper. Exactly. Specifically, that's why it has the color. Aaron said magnesium. Everyone's arguing. It is some substance.
So whether it's magnesium does burn blue,
I thought
but
blue,
copper,
right?
Isn't it interesting that it was only 8 minutes after that meteorite that the phone call happened?
Yeah.
And they're nearby enough that the same officer was sent to the house.
Well, and one of the things is Enzo had said, he's like, oh, we can't show video of the backyard from the police footage, but we can show a drone. So here's the thing. So it actually has come out that, and I don't know how accurate this is, but that the family asked for that footage to not be played in the backyard, which is why they didn't play it. Not because the cops thought it was private property, but that the people who live there inserted their right to not have that part. That's why you saw the part like out front of their house was released because they were on private or public property, and that's like the body cam. But once they step that barrier into the backyard, the reason that you have the drone shots is because you can drive a drone around and get shots of it. One of the things that he was speculated inside was that in this back area they have like kind of like where they park all their cars and tractors and stuff, and it's gravel, and there was like a big circle indented in the area, and that's where the UFO landed. And respectfully, anybody could do that with your foot. Like it wasn't like some crazy scorch mark or something, or it literally looked like a tractor could have driven in a circle.
Wasn't there also a cell phone video of an alleged alien in the yard?
Yeah, so there was like a cell phone video that they did after the fact of like not in the heat of the moment. This was after the fact, and like they went and video recorded it. And you can't see anything, and people are doing the whole like drawing faces and stuff and being like, "Oh, it's over here." And then another video came out that was like very obviously somebody in a suit lurking behind something, and like people are playing the audio of the 911 call over that video on the internet. So then people are like, "Oh, this is the alien that was in the backyard."
Yeah,
so you have a classic
this was the cherry on top for me.
That's a cryptid. So
wait, wait. Let's not get to that yet, Kari, because right now we still want to give the man the benefit of the doubt. So the next video we're going to watch is this is the kid himself talking about it.
Okay.
B. I think B checked out.
I hate you. I hate all of you. Just shut up.
Here.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I'm here to tell you what happened to me
you
on
had to
May
put
1st,
this in the background.
I'm gonna try to explain the best of my abilities. This is not a conspiracy theory. I'm not making this story out for clout or fame. I just want to tell you what happened to me and my family. And I know some people are not gonna believe this, but each person is different. So this is what happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard. At this point, I'm only with my brother and I hear something fall from the sky. I turn around, the only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after, I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. And me and my brother looked at each other and we were scared, but when that impact happened, It was sort of like a shockwave, like an out-of-body experience. So to
He's
say,
reading.
when I
That's
tried
why he
to
keeps
look at the
pausing like that
object,
and doing that because he's scrolling what he
it was
wrote.
all blurry, not my
Yeah.
vision, but only the backyard area. And I hear thousands of footsteps around me, and maybe a couple seconds later, the blurriness was gone. And here's the footage of the body, the police officer's body cam, and here's the object I'm referring to, the light. Video.
So now he's alleging that this is what he saw.
Here's a ring camera video. You could hear the bang. This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video.
Oh.
Sound like a firework.
So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin. So I called my dad. He went to the backyard and he saw the same thing, the same creature I saw. He told me to go inside the house. At this point, we all freaking out, me and my family. And here's the video where we were in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's the video.
¡Ay! Permisar. Calmungarela, me canceles var eso. Cáelo, cherro, que chile. Cáelo, cherro.
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me, and he told me shakingly, "Look behind the forklift." So I look. Keep in mind I'm facing the forklift, and then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color, and when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind I'm staring at him, and I look at his whole body, and he has a weird looking feet and a big face and eyes, and you can see a big mouth. And I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving. He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I could start moving again. And I start running towards the house. That's when I call 911, and here's the 911 call.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
I just want everyone to be aware that he recorded. This isn't the 911 call that was released. This is him recording him calling 911. Like, this is his recording from his phone that he made himself.
Right.
In my backyard.
So he had the foresight
I
to
swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth.
I love this lady. Okay.
They're shiny eyes and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the police to come, and you could hear footsteps in the backyard area. And a loud whispering, like you could hear whisperings. We were in the living room area, and you could hear footsteps on the roof. So we waited a little bit for the police. When they arrived, they told me I told them what I saw, and they were kind of freaked out. Here's the body cam of the officer.
Now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big. That's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro.
So they went in the backyard, and one of the officers pointed at the floor, and it was a perfect circle. Here's a photo of the circle I'm referring to.
Yeah, that's the circle he's alleging is the UFO.
Keep in mind, 2 officers came in my house, and one of them started running to his car, driving around the neighborhood, asking passing cars if they saw light.
What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
Goosebumps and freaking out. He started investigating that he told me his partner, she saw a light falling from the sky. He told me he believes me because her partner reported that she saw the same light as me. Now we're walking the front yard, and the other officer came here. Here's a video of him talking to my family.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So, moments before they left, one of the officers told me, if I see the thing again, to don't call him, just shoot him. And you can hear in the video. Here's the video.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, he definitely said shoot them,
So they
sure,
left,
yeah.
And we went inside the house and we started praying. As we're praying, you can hear a loud human-like scream in the backyard. This is what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I hope you guys kind of understand what happened to me. I know it's hard to believe, but I saw what I saw. And it's kind of going viral. That's why I'm here to explain the story. I did an interview with journalist Doc Papa. I'm going to put his video in the description. I'm going to make a part 2 of the stuff that happened after May 1st. And thank you for watching the video.
Okay, let's discuss. Kari, this is where your point's going to come in.
So it turned out that he made a YouTube channel that was the first upload on it. He made the YouTube channel before the event, and he also sells alien NFTs before the event. So kind of
sus.
Lucky for him, right?
Yeah, he immediately threw I think he got a TikTok account, a Twitter account. Like he had them, but he immediately started using them after. And it's just so interesting.
Yeah.
Listen, I would love to believe everybody's stories, but from all of the stories I've heard and what I'm seeing from the evidence put in front of me, which from this guy's video didn't really give us anything new that wasn't inside of the 7-minute long news report that we literally he would just it was just so weird. I don't discredit him for writing his information down and reading it. I give him no flack for that because sometimes it's hard to talk in the moment.
I didn't mind him reading.
Yeah, I didn't mind that at all. I think some people kind of hated on him for that. I don't hate on him for that. But I just, from what the evidence is put in front of me, it just seems so strange, the whole scenario. It screams to me a lot of what we were talking about earlier, how when you have these events and then they're they sprinkle in all these things, like the clickbait words, like he said, sleep paralysis, and you're saying all these things that are or at the end of it, well, we went and prayed and we heard a loud scream out. So not saying that the praying made it go away, but basically saying the praying made it go away, kind of and those are all very typical things we hear.
He's talking to a specific
group.
Yeah. Which would be the local audience for News 8 in Vegas, which would probably also all be Catholic.
100%. And that's what it feels to me. Now, I'm not saying that his story is 100% fake by any means. Maybe he 100% experienced what he experienced. But to me, the dealing of it with it afterwards seems so interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it was real. I think it was, they saw a thing in the sky, that meteorite, and then went, dude, we can totally,
we could do this now. This is the thing we've been waiting for.
Off of this.
Yeah.
So they do this thing, and then everybody knows who he is, and then he can be like, hey, everyone, I have an alien NFT because I had that alien experience. But really, he already had the NFT ready to go. He just needed to sell it with an experience.
With an experience, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I hope he makes money off the NFTs.
Yeah, it was like it started off really good and it was really great and buzzy, but then I think it's like with all things in UFO land, like you start to dig into it and then things just start to fall apart. And I think that it's twofold. I think it's one because unfortunately we just have people who make things up and don't actually like have experiences. But I think that the other side of it is that there's also no facts in ufology. Like literally, there's no such thing as facts.
There's very few facts.
We have no way to verify so many things. Like so much of ufology is literally unverifiable. And so like it's always toting that line of it's real and just super unverifiable, or it's just complete bullshit. And I think that's also what a lot of us are starting to become more annoyed with in ufology the more we get into it. It's like we keep digging and then we keep hitting these walls of things where it's like, well, fuck me. And it's like, do you accept the truth or do you be delusional and just be like, well, I want to believe in it all?
Right.
Yep.
It's hard. It's hard out here. We've been researching for so long. That's what I mean. We've been like the ufology community as a whole, I feel like has been searching for that long that we're all collectively reaching a point like that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's, make a good point there.
Sometimes every once in a while I do. Bree, any comments from you?
Ending on a somber note.
Oh.
Yep.
Was that all?
Yeah.
Those are your words?
Those are the words.
All right.
Yes.
Well, that was the show. Sorry to be depresso espresso.
I'm the UFO, yes, that one.
Any final thoughts before we get out of here and Kari pushes the button?
I think everybody should like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't. And what really helps us, if you are on Twitch or Twitter watching the show, that you share it just to help us so that we can piss off more of you.
Hey.
Where can we find each other?
Who are we pissing off?
Everybody.
Everyone, I guess.
We're a nuisance.
Interesting.
Where can we find you, Goat?
On
in Mexico.
Mats in Mexico next week.
Right on.
Kari, where can we find you?
At Fires of Truth, where I am the Meta King.
Beautiful. Tony, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Twitter at BOTT Water. And this is my psychosis today.
I love it. It's beautiful.
My Twitter is the hater. You're absolutely right.
Damn, that's insane. My final thought is, Kari, don't fuck up the button.
Yeah, don't fuck up the button.
All right, bye, everybody. Don't fuck up. Don't play the wrong outro video.
Don't play the intro.
Yeah.
All right.
Take it easy, dude. But take it.